the recording now would be just great.
We are recording.
Okay. Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for being here with us today. So today's lesson, we are talking about, I think we called it to strip and conquer. So you'll see what that's all about in a little bit. And as you know, we are asking for a donation of $5 minimum for each lesson. And this week and next week and all of April and all of May and June, all proceeds went to our 5 schools in Cambodia. If you can just turn off your video, SS Home, that'd be great. Thank you so much, everybody. And the proceeds all go to our 5 schools in Cambodia. And if you donate $100 or more, and it's not too late, either this week or next week, you will still get a tax receipt in the US or in Canada. They'll both be legal tax receipts from each country. And I am delighted to announce that we are now over $34,000 Canadian. And so we're just over the moon happy about that. And you can see these lovely children, and the children are just, we just adore them. So, Anne, am I talking too fast? Does everybody think I'm talking too fast, or is it okay? I'm sorry if you can't hear me. Maybe turn up your volume. Okay, good. Okay, so the classes will continue on Wednesdays in July, but the fees will not go to Cambodia in July, okay? Alex has decided it's time to pay some bills. And so you can do the payment online, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. And so I'm just going to show you that. And one more thing that you can do is you can pay on our website, online on my website at www.barbaraseagram.com. And you can also purchase all 9 recordings for May and June at www.barbaraseagram.com. And then you get all the notes that match as well. So I'm going to take you to my website just very briefly to show you, because many of you write to me and you tell me that you don't know how to do it and how to find anything. And you say, I haven't been notified, I haven't got the Zoom link for this week. That is always in the newsletter. And I'm on my website now, barbaraseagram.com, you'll notice. And you'll see down here, you have to know how to scroll down on the side of your screen. If you scroll down, you'll find the current newsletter there. So here's the current newsletter, and you can always click on that and bring it up, and the Zoom link is in there. But the Zoom link is also right here, largest life on the picture. Because when we first started doing Zoom, I was holding up pieces of paper. So that's what I'm doing here. And now we've figured out better ways of doing it. So there's the Zoom link always for the next lesson. I have a wonderful webmaster who helps me with that, and she puts these things up. And over here, you can click on this, and that gives you the web recordings, $89, and it gives you 9 recordings with the matching lessons. And also, anytime you want to purchase a class, you can do that right here online. And then, if you scroll down a little bit, if you scroll down, you can find a little section here that has articles that you may enjoy looking at. There's one here on hand evaluation and revaluing that I urge you to look at, and also one called Raising Partner with 3-card Support. Also, the notes for the previous lesson are always here, located on the screen, right underneath all these pictures. And then you can also listen to the recording for 1 week of the previous lesson. And then the answers for the quiz that I hope you do are right down below that. You can click on that, and then it will take you to another page. And on that other page, let's see if I can do that. Okay, yes, that's the other page. And here are the answers, for example, to quiz number 11 on the right-hand side. Okay, good. So now I'm going to take you to a different screen. And we are going to start our lesson. Annan is not able to hear, Tim and Cindy. Annan, A-N-N-E-N. And I'm sorry my voice is a bit too fast. I'm hoping all of the rest of you can manage. Okay, and now we're going to start in with this. Just give me a minute to move things over. Okay, there we go. Good. Now, we're going to be doing a lot more play today than theory because today is play of the hand. Okay? Now, Tim, if you could help Annan, that would be great.
Yep, working on
Good.
it.
Okay. Now, on this hand, North is the dealer on this hand. And let me just get that little spotlight. Here we go. So North is the dealer. And I want you to tell me what you think you're going to bid as the North player. I suspect. And so now you can chat to me and give me bids that you think you're going to make. You're not going to ask questions until we have question period. Please write down your questions. Have a little notepad handy. I can't see your answers yet. Okay, now I see. Okay, I just got to move this over a little. There, that's better. Good. Okay, I hope everybody can see all right. Okay, one spade, of course. Perfect. So you're going to bid one spade. And East-West is going to pass all the way through today, which is very kind of them. Pretty much they're going to pass. Now, tell me what South should bid now with this hand. What do you think South should bid? If you have a chat ability, then tell me. And if not, it really doesn't matter. Okay? So I would rather that the chat box not block your screen. Yes, you're going to bid Jacoby to no trump. Those who don't know Jacoby to no trump, send me an email and I can send you information about it. But I hope by now that you're feeling a lot more comfortable with Jacoby to no trump. So one spade by North, pass to no trump, pass. And now North is going to bid what? They are supposed to show us a singleton or a void if they have one, but they do not. And therefore, they're just going to bid with a minimum hand. Correct. Good. With a minimum hand and no singleton or void, they just bid four spades, which says, I don't know what you're looking for, partner, but I ain't got it. Okay? Now, South, of course, has an enormous hand, lots and lots and lots of points. And so they are going to push on and see if they can get to a small slam or a grand slam for that matter. So they did four, no, oops. Sorry. Now we have to do the undo. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So they're going to bid four spades. And now pass, and South bids four, no trump. Pass, and North is going to bid what? Showing two key cards, but no queen of trumps. And what will they bid? Four, no trump, pass, and what are they going to bid? Yes, they're going to bid five hearts. That is correct. Five hearts. Pass. And now, South should now push on and ask about kings. Five, no trump, asks about kings. And now, how will South answer using standard? In other words, not specific kings, unless that's what you and your partner have agreed to, but we use old-fashioned Blackwood, excluding the king of trump. So now, after five, no trump, North should bid. Six clubs would show no kings. Six diamonds would show one king. Six hearts will show two kings. So I think they should bid six hearts. Pass. And now South knows, because we've already included the king in the first go round in the five heart bid. That showed two key cards. So we don't show that king again. So six hearts, pass. And now South is going to bid six spades because there's a king missing. Pass, pass, pass. Okay. And now, what do you think East should lead? What do you think East should lead? Yes, I'm pointing at it. What do you think? Absolutely. Top of a sequence, best lead in bridge. It never gives a single thing away, which is what you want. Now, North is declarer and has to count winners. So North has no spade winners, I'm sure you'll agree. If you look at the hearts, because remember, you must always take 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes at the start of every single hand, okay? Start of every single hand, you must take 1.5 minutes or 2 to count your losers and make a plan in a trump suit contract. So North has no spade losers. We'll jump over to diamonds and say no diamond losers, one diamond loser, excuse me, because we have the ace over in the dummy, but then we have one loser. And in the clubs, we have no losers whatsoever because we have the ace, the king, and the queen. Everybody okay with that? Now it's the hearts that are the tricky ones because we do have one potential heart loser. So what I should have done, and I didn't get to it yet. There we go. I'm sorry, I should have. But if you're looking at the hearts now, and you can't see your opponent's cards, well, you could win the ace of diamonds, and you could draw trumps, and then if you thought that the queen of hearts was in this hand, then you could play the 7 of hearts, and if she plays the small heart, you play the jack. But then what if this one has the queen? Now that's no good, is it? And now this hand is going to win a trick. So you have to decide how to play this. Now, this hand depends on a finesse. You have to grasp that concept. In the notes that I'll come back to the other screen in a moment, I point out that this is something called a tennis, king 10, and this is a tennis, ace jack. They're broken honors, and one honor card is missing to make it to make them solid. So if you had the king queen in one, you'd have a sequence, right? You'd have a solid sequence in hearts, but you don't. You have a gap. You have a hole. So that is called a tennis, T-E-N-A-C-E, from the word tenir, which means hold, to hold in French. So it's a position of power. Only big cards usually are called tennis, okay? Like a king 10 or an ace jack. And so what you have here is an opportunity for something called a two-way finesse. So you have a choice of finessing this hand for the queen or for finessing this hand for the queen, okay? So the best way to deal with this is to do your stretching exercises and lean left and lean right until you see who's got the missing queen of hearts. That's the best. But if they're holding up their cards, and of course in the world of online bridge, this isn't going to work, you really have a problem. So this is a hand that we're going to try to not do a finesse, because you see, finesses are right at the bottom of the list of methods to make a contract. Finesses, as you know, only work 50% of the time. Now, some of you have heard this lesson before, and you've heard me say that Alex has always said, if you were going to buy a used car and the salesman told you that your brakes would work only 50% of the time, would you buy that car? No, you would find another method of transportation. So in the same way, if you have a hand that depends on a finesse, you think of something called the strip and throw in. Okay, let's do it. So king of diamonds, ace of diamonds. We're now going to remove these because otherwise I can't play the opponent's cards. Okay, so you can see it, which makes it easier for you, and a diamond. And now we're going to draw as many rounds as possible. And then I'm going to give you a little diagram earlier, which is going to give you an easy way to remember the order in which to do these things. But you know it's usually that we draw trumps first. So spade, 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 and let's say a diamond. Okay? And now, in order for this method, this technique to work, we need to always keep at least one trump in the dummy. So, of course, we have several, and that's the beauty of having all those trumps, which is wonderful. In order for this to work, you need to have some trump, at least one, in the dummy. And I want you to label your suits. Remember, this is all written out for you in your notes, and all the hands are written out for you in your notes as well. So I want you to label the suits. First of all, you have the trump suit that you have finished drawing trumps, and you're not going to draw any more trumps. And then we have something that I would like you to label mentally as being the do not touch suit, the do not touch suit. And that is usually the suit in which there's a finesse opportunity. Because if you lead that suit, you may go wrong. Supposing you thought that this hand had the Queen of Hearts, and you led a small heart, and you played the 10, then this hand could win it with the Queen. So the hand that has the finesse possibility, I want you to call it your do not touch suit, usually, not always. Now, this is what I call your happy suit, otherwise known as the strip suit. That's the clubs. They cannot hurt you if you lead clubs. So we're going to play 3 rounds of clubs. And it doesn't really matter whether everybody follows or not, because you have already pulled trumps. Here's what does matter. Supposing you had another club in this hand, and everybody had not followed suit, you would now, when you strip, you must strip completely. And then you would play that final heart, and you would trump it in the dummy. Because it will only work if you have stripped completely. Because otherwise, if one of the bad guys wins a trick, then they can just lead back another club if you still had a club there. You'll see how that works. So now what you're going to do, having labeled this suit as your do not touch suit, and having decided that you have pulled all the trumps and you're not going to pull any more trumps, you have a label on this suit, and you are going to call it your exit suit. It is the suit that you are going to throw the opponents in with. So now declarer plays the 6 of diamonds, and the east hand plays the jack of diamonds. The jack, not the queen, because when we try to win a trick, we win it as cheaply as possible. Diamond, diamond. And now this poor guy is on lead. And I'll illustrate it better for you when we go back to my office to see my lesson notes shortly, but you'll see it here for now. You see, if he leads a heart, let's do that. If he leads a heart, you just play a low one. And now, let's say this guy plays the 8, you win it with the 10. And now you say the rest are mine, because you have the king and the ace and all those trumps. So now let's go back a little bit, and we're going to undo that last trick. And let's say East has won that trick, but let's say East doesn't lead a heart. Let's say East leads the Queen of Diamonds. Okay? Now, this is called, when the dummy has none of that suit and the declarer has none of that suit, we call this a slough and a ruff, as most of you already know this terminology. Okay, we call it having an opportunity for a slough and a ruff. A slough is a discard, like sloughing dead skin from your arm when it's too dry, shedding, okay, throwing. Okay, discarding. Okay, a slut and a ruff, of course, is to trump. I want to emphasize, and I can't emphasize it enough, when you are given an opportunity for a slough and a ruff, often it does not matter, and I'm sorry, on this hand, it does not matter where you slough and where you ruff, but very often it will matter. Since we focus on the declarer's hand to count our losers, I want you to throw away losers from the declarer's hand and ruff in the dummy. So I want you to remember, you can make a note of this on your notepad, but it is in your notes. RID stands for ruff in a dummy. Okay, so Queen of Diamonds is led, and you're going to ruff with the 9 of spades. This hand plays a diamond, and you slough or discard a heart from your hand. And now, declarer can say, the rest are mine, because the king, and now the 10 of hearts, heart, ace of hearts, heart, and we have only trumps left. I hope that makes sense. And now we're going to go back to the other screen and have a look at that. And we will return to this. Okay. Now let's push on down. And by the way, anytime you have any questions, please send me an email at barbaraseagram@gmail.com. And the website, as I told you, is www.barbaraseagram.com. Okay, now I'm calling this lesson to strip and conquer. So I want you to see, I'm going to stop the share for a moment because I brought my props. Okay, so here I am. We call this the stripping lesson. You saw the club suit on the past hand, and that's what you have to remember to do. You have to strip and strip completely. So I brought my boa along. Okay, and I brought my daughter's little thong because she's only a size 2. Okay, so think of this as your naughty lesson, all right? And we have lots of lace and frilly things around today, okay? So this is how you're going to remember how to do this. Okay, so now back to the lesson. So here she is, stripping away. She's got better legs than I do. So whenever you find yourself in a contract, which depends on a finesse, consider whether you can do the strip and throw in. You can't always, but often you can. And so it's a very important technique. Now, so here you have what I wanted to just remind you of now that we've got the diagram back. Just a sec. Okay, so this is what we call a two-way finesse. Okay? Because you have a choice of, if you were going to finesse, of which way to finesse. If you thought the queen was here, you would play small, small 10. If you thought the queen was here, you would play small, small jack. Okay? So that's a two-way finesse. That is the best situation, the best situation. And so on this hand, this would be no spade losers. You have one heart loser. It's very, very similar to the last hand, just a different suit. And you would have the diamonds would be the do not touch suit. Clubs are the strip suit. Don't forget, if you find yourself with one extra club, you have to rough it in the dummy before exiting. That's very, very important. Okay? Jean, you shouldn't be recording the lesson. We're recording the lesson. I don't think you are able to do the recording. Okay? And now we'll move on to the next. Okay, So now, just to remind you, we did do this just a moment ago, but I want you to think of the 4 suits like this. Pam, why does it matter about trumping in the dummy? That will become clear. But remember that we trump in the dummy because we count our losers in our declarer's hand. So that's the losers that we have to throw away are from the declarer's hand. Okay? So trump suit, draw as many as necessary. And then you have your do not touch suit. I want you to pretend you've got little post-it notes, and you can put 1 post-it note on each suit. And then the strip suit that you're going to strip completely, and the exit suit where you're going to throw your opponents in. Now, when you're given a slough and a rough, 99.9% of the time, I'm going to be showing you hands where it's going to matter where you rough and where you slough. So if you always remember, rough in the dummy, RID stands for rough in the dummy. Make a note of that, okay? It would be nice if you could bring post-it notes to the club. That's true. RID stands for rough in the dummy, and that always gains you a trick. When you rough in the declarer's hand, it never, ever, ever gains you a trick. Sometimes we have to rough in the declarer's hand just for purposes of transportation or getting back to that hand, but it never, ever gains you a trick. So what I was pointing out earlier is that this is called a 2-way finesse. I hope everybody understands that by now. As opposed to this one. This is a 1-way finesse. You see that this south hand, on the previous hand, look at the south diamonds, you have the ace 10, 5, opposite king jack 2. Okay? Those are that's a tennis, that's a tennis. Now, this hand has only 1 tennis, the king jack. So it becomes not as wonderful a situation as the other, but still, it's still very valuable. Okay, so no 10 of diamonds, so we would call this a 1-way finesse. Now, I just wanted to point out that a tennis has nothing to do with the fact that it spells out 10 and ace and that it comes from tenir, and that 2 honor cards with a gap, ace queen, king jack, queen 10, even jack 9 can be if the other cards have already gone, a position of some power. If you don't have this sort of a tennis, then you won't be able to do an end play. So I want to just show you here. If you had, for example, this is an end play wouldn't work here, because if the opponent was on lead and led the 6 of diamonds, let's do that. Okay, we'll pull this, make him bigger. Okay, that didn't work. Just a sec. Okay, we're just leading the 6 of diamonds. And let's say we play the 3 from the dummy. And now let's say this hand plays the jack. And now declarer wins the ace. Later on, when the opponents get on lead, and let's say they lead back the 9, it goes small, small, you win the king. And the opponents will win a trick. You have not caused them any grief, and they have not given you a trick because you didn't have the 10 yourself. You didn't have the jack, okay? You want to always be giving your opponents a problem when they win the lead in this situation when we're doing end plays. So now, contrast it with this. If this guy gets on lead and he leads a small one, you play small. If he plays the 5, you play the 10. If he plays the 9, you play the 10. Okay? And that way, you have not lost any tricks here because you have tennises. I hope that makes sense. Does that help? Is that, are you understanding all that? Tell me if you're understanding. Okay, excellent. Okay, now, I'm going to tell you why we have the picture of the crocodile here. Back here, This is called the jaws. When you have a tennis in declarer's hand or in dummy, we call them the jaws. Eddie Cantor refers to them as that, and other experts do. So you see, if he leads in this scenario, he's not happy, but you're happy. Okay, he is leading into the jaws of the ace 10, or the jaws, if this guy gets on lead, the jaws of the king jack. So I thought the best jaws I could think of are this lovely creature. Oh my, look at him. He's got all sorts of treats in there. Oh my, what an ugly beast. But how powerful. Okay, and now I want to look at this. We're going to play this hand in a minute, but I want you to see in the diagram first. Let's say this time you're not in 6 spades, you're only in 4 spades. You'll be happy to know that. Okay, you're in 4 spades and south is declarer. And you have no losers in spades, agree? No losers in spades. And you have one potential loser in hearts because you have the ace, but you don't have anything else of merit, okay? And you have no club losers because you have the ace, king, queen. So let's refresh. Got one heart loser, and I want you to tell me how many diamond losers you have. So would you tell me in your chat boxes how many diamond losers you have? It's either 3 or 2. You tell me which one you think it is. Okay, so we've got a mix. We've got a happy mix. Some people say 3 losers, and some people say 2 losers. Okay, the fact of the matter is that it's 3 losers. Because if you have to lead this suit yourself, if you yourself have to lead this suit as the declarer, you are going to lose 3 tricks, plus the heart. And now you're down 1. If the opponents lead a diamond for you, let's say they lead a small diamond, you would play small. And now if this guy played the ace, you would play small. And now later, all that you would have to do is play the queen, which would drive out the king. And now one of your honors is now high. So you therefore minimize your losses down to only 2 diamond losers and 1 heart. So this again is another situation for the strip hand throw-in. This will become your do not touch suit. Okay? Let's have a look at that. Now let's look at here. Supposing we lead the 3 of diamonds, if we had to lead it ourselves. Sorry. Let's say we had to lead it ourselves. So you lead the 3. What card should the west hand play? Remember, declarer is in 4 hearts, let's say, and they have drawn all the trumps. What should the west hand play now? The 4 is the correct card. There's no point playing that intermediate 7. Get used to just playing second hand low. Okay? 3, 4. It's a good habit to get into. And now you play the queen, and now East plays the king. Later on, supposing she doesn't continue leading that suit, supposing you have to later, they lead something and you win it. Now you play a small one, and he plays the 8, and you play the jack, and now West wins with the ace. Okay? And now he leads back another one, and the 9, and the 6. And East and West have scored 3 tricks because we had to play them ourselves. And we're going to try very hard to not lead the suit ourselves. This is going to be our do not touch suit. So I wanted to point out that it's very, very different if you happen to have the queen 10 and a little one opposite the jack and 2 little ones. This is not a tennis. This is more like a sequence, the queen, the jack, and the 10. Because now all you have to do is lead one of these, okay? Just a second. You lead one of these. And if this hand plays small, then you play the queen. And he'll win, let's say, with the king. But later on, all you have to do is, having pulled trumps, is lead one of these, and they'll win their ace or their king, whichever hasn't yet been played. But now you have this wonderful card, the 10, to win a trick later with, okay? So you have some solidity in that suit, which is a whole different ball game than what you had a minute ago with the queen and 2 little ones opposite the jack and 2 little ones. So we'll just have a look at a hand that exemplifies that. Okay. So on this hand, we're not going to bother with the bidding. On this hand, well, I'll just tell you briefly that it goes 1 spade. The dealer is east, so 1 spade, pass. And I know that you know that West is going to bid Jacoby 2 no trump. If you don't know Jacoby 2 no trump yet, it's really an important convention. I really need you to get after learning that, okay? So 1 spade pass, 2 no trump pass, 4 spades. Pass, 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 okay? And so now the south hand leads, and let's say the south hand leads the king of hearts. Okay, count your losers, make a plan. Always count the losers in the hand that has the most trumps. We call it the long hand. It so happens that I'm very generous with you in this lesson, and I'm giving you heaps of trumps in the dummy hand. So you have no spade losers. You have 1 heart loser. You have no club losers. And you have 3 diamond losers. So you have 3 diamond losers and 1 heart loser. So you have to recognize this as a situation where you're going to do a strip and throw in because you don't want to lead this diamond suit. If you lead the diamond suit yourself, you're going to lose 3 diamonds and 1 heart. So the strip and throw in occurs when you're in a contract, yes, that depends on a finesse or trying to get honor cards to win tricks, and you have a reasonably balanced hand. It will never be when you have 5 of another suit in the dummy, for example, that are not good ones. That will never be a strip and throw in it. They're reasonably balanced hands, okay? And they work terribly well in that scenario. So now let's play it. So South has led the king of hearts, ace of hearts, 4 of hearts, 2 of hearts. And now remember what the rule is. And if you need to write this down, write it down, but it will be in your notes later, which is draw trumps, as many as necessary, and identify your suits. Identify the diamonds as being the do not touch suit. Identify the clubs as being the strip suit, and identify the hearts as being the exit suit. And remember that with the strip suit, it is important to strip completely. Just like if you're getting into the shower, you don't leave your stockings on, okay? Strip completely. In this case, you only have 3 clubs opposite 3 clubs, but sometimes you won't, okay? And now North can throw away, let's say North throws away a little heart, okay? Now we don't pull any more trumps. I want you to see what happens if we now lead the heart and do the exit now, I think we're going to do that so that you really see it. Supposing you played the heart now, having pulled trumps. You see, South wins the heart. But now, South does not have to lead a diamond. And so he's not going to help you. And he's not going to lead another heart and give you a slough and a rough. He's going to lead a club. And he is not at all uncomfortable. What you wish to always achieve with the strip and throw in is that you wish to throw them in, and then they will be uncomfortable when they're on lead. Or even if they don't know that they're uncomfortable, they are going to be helping you. So 10, 3, 4, ace. Okay? And now, you see, you put yourself back so that you're going to have to lead the diamonds yourself. And now when you lead the diamonds yourself, they are going to score 3 diamonds plus the heart with which you threw them in. So let's just undo that. Sorry, this is a little tedious. Okay, so now we have to do the strip. Ace of clubs, club, 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 and now club, club, king, club, and now the queen of clubs, club, 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 and don't forget, if you have that extra club that is not good, you must now trump it in the dummy. Where do we trump? We trump in the dummy. Okay, and so now the do not touch suit is still got that post-it note. Have an extra large post-it note available for your problem suit that you're not going to touch. Okay, so you remember to not touch it. And now you're going to play the 10 of hearts. Heart, heart, jack. And now I'm going to show you that South is now on lead. If they lead a heart, you will rough it in the dummy, because I've told you that that's where you're going to always do your roughing, in the dummy. In this hand, it would not matter, but frequently it will. So get used to that concept. RID stands for rough in the dummy. And then you're going to slough the diamond from your hand. So now you will only lose 2 diamonds and 1 heart. But supposing South leads instead the ace of diamonds. Now, I'm going to tell you that whenever the opponents start a suit for you, it's called breaking a new suit. I think of it as sort of breaking an egg, starting something, opening a can of worms. Helping you is what they're doing whenever they start a new suit. So we try actually very hard to not start new suits for the declarer, okay? Because every time you do, it's going to help them. So now you played, North played the 8 of diamonds because they love it. They've got the king, but they don't know that declarer's got the jack. And now the king of diamonds and a little diamond. And can you see now, Bob's your uncle, you're going to get a diamond trick. So you only lose 2 diamonds and 1 heart, okay? So now what I'd like to do is I'd like to, just 1 second, I'm going to reload that hand. I'm going to put that hand back up again. And now I'm going to take any questions. We're going to have a 2-second break and have questions. And then we're going to play lots more hands for the rest of the lesson. Any questions at all? Does anyone have any questions? No questions. Oh, aren't you amazing? Okay. Pam, we're going to get to you. Why must you trump in the dummy is Pam's question. And you will see on some other hands. I want you just to retain for now that you will trump in dummy. For now, I want you to, the reason for why you're going to trump in the dummy is because I said so. How's that? Okay, so that's I want you to retain that because that's when you will gain tricks. If you trump in your hand, you never gain tricks. Okay? So I want you to really, really, really grasp that. And for now, you'll have to trust me. Okay? And North could have discarded, Cindy, a diamond to signal that they like it, but they really didn't want diamonds led. It's better not. Do you count losers? You count losers from the declarer's hand, and if they're the same length, then it doesn't matter, but usually count losers from the declarer's hand. Does this work? Diane wants to know, does this work if the ace, the king, and the queen are in the same hand? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Are you talking about the trumps? I'm not sure, Diane, what you mean. Tim, do you know what she means?
No, I'm not sure on that.
Okay, okay. And what if you don't have a complete strip suit and you're missing an honor? Oh, you're going to see some examples of that, Leslie. They're all really good questions. What happens if 4-0 and a bad split in trumps? On that particular hand, of course, you had 10 trumps together. And so you were only missing 3, Dean. But what happens if you get a bad split in trumps and you won't be able to have one trump left in the dummy? Then it's not going to work. Okay, it's not. In order for this to work, the end play, it's called an end play, by the way. It's called an end play because it usually happens near the end of the hand. Okay, and some of you have heard this before, but I'll just tell the rest of you that once Alex was teaching the class, and so he had just explained that it's called an end play because it happens near the end of the hand. And so someone wanted to know, well, what would it be called if it happened near the beginning of the hand? And he said, well, then it's called foreplay. Okay, so there you go. I told you this was your naughty lesson. Okay, now Susan Meredith wants to know, if you had that last club, why would you trump it? Because if it was not a good card, they did not follow suit all the way. Of course, if it was the 13th club, you would not need to trump it. But if it was not a good card, then you would have to trump it. Diane, did you mean if you had the ace, king, queen in the same hand, in the strip hand? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're all in the same hand, Diane. It doesn't matter. Thank you for clarifying. Why must you completely strip the strip suit? Because otherwise, when the bad guys get in, they can lead that suit rather than leading your do not touch suit. And you want them to lead your do not touch suit and give you an extra trick that way. And if you have not stripped your strip suit, then they're not going to help you anymore. And you want to make them uncomfortable by making them lead it. Okay, let me get this sorted out. We're gonna, looks like nobody seems to have any more questions. So we're going to do another one. Thanks again to Babs Giesbrecht or Barbara Giesbrecht in Qualicum Beach, British Columbia, who keeps giving me pointers on this. Thank you so much. And to Tim and to Cindy for being here. You're my life support. Thank you. How do you get the opponent to play that last card from your happy suit? Whatever they play, once you've stripped the hand, Eleanor, the question is, how do you get the opponent to play that last card? Whatever they lead, whether they give you a strip and throw in or whatever they lead is going to make you happy. So you don't really care what they lead. It's going to be good for you. I'm just going to do the cover up. There we go. Okay, now, South is the dealer on this hand, so let's bid it. South is going, and I know you know what to do. So you're going to bid 1 heart. I know you are. Okay, good. And pass, the opponents are passing. And North is going to bid. North is going to bid. No, we're not going to bid 4 hearts. Whatever you do, don't bid 4 hearts. So it's good that that came up, though. Thank you for mentioning it. Because 1 heart, 4 hearts is called the weak freak. And the weak freak shows 2 to 9 points and 5 trumps. So if you had this hand and no ace, king, queen of clubs, or maybe just the queen, then 1 heart, 4 hearts indeed. But it advertises a very, very weak hand. So 1 heart pass, we're going to bid yes, 2 no trump, which shows 13 or more points and at least 4 trumps. You don't need to have that 5th trump. I'm just giving you happy hands today. 1 heart pass, 2 no trump, pass, and South is required to show a singleton or a void if they have one. And they do not have one, and they have just 13 to 15, a minimum hand. So what are they going to bid? They're going to bid 4 hearts. Perfect. Pass, pass, pass. So now I want you to go through the thinking process with me. We have no heart losers, I'm sure you'll agree. How many spade losers do you have? You must call this 2 spade losers. Okay, you've got 2 spade losers. And you have 2 diamond losers. And you have no club losers because over in dummy you have the ace, king, queen, happy cards. So 2 spade losers and 2 diamond losers comes to 4 losers, and you're in the contract of 4 hearts, so you're only allowed to have 3 losers. So you have 1 more than you can afford to have. So what are you going to do about it? Okay, so what would you say is your do not touch suit? The suit that kind of the finesse, looks like a finesse. Which suits that? We're not doing first round controls unless we're bidding Blackwood, and we only do Blackwood when we only fail to do Blackwood when we have a void or 2 little or 3 little in a side suit. So yes, the problem suit isn't diamonds. You might think the diamonds are your problem suit, but the problem suit is spades. So let's clear that away, and now you're going to see it. So West leads the king of diamonds, I'm sure you'll agree. So you see, we have to play the ace of diamonds. So you don't want to consider that the diamonds are your problem suit. They would be if you were in no trumps, for example, because then they could take a whole bunch of diamonds, right? If this guy had lots more. But in a suit contract, this is not a problem suit. It's just this will be the way to throw your opponents in. There's no way to stop them from taking 2 diamond tricks. No way on earth. But what you don't want is you don't want them to take 2 diamonds and 2 spades. So on this hand, you see, if you were going to try to win a trick with a spade and it is a finesse, you see, this is a finesse. If we lead a spade from the dummy towards our king, and that is how you would try to get that king if you were going to play it yourself to win a trick. You would lead 2 of spades, he would play a small spade, and you would play the king and hope that the ace was in this hand. But it's over here. So this is a contract that depends on a finesse. And when you're in a contract that depends on a finesse, you think up the strip and throw in. And yes, it's okay to have 2 losers in the throw-in suit, TW. It's totally all right. You don't want to be in 6 if you have 2 losers in the throw-in suit. But when you're only in 4, it's okay. So we're going to draw trumps because that's what we do. And this hand should play a diamond very, very quickly and hope that declarer doesn't notice that he didn't follow suit. That's always a good thing. 2 of hearts, small heart, ace of hearts, heart. And now queen of hearts, heart, heart, and a diamond. I'm just going to point out that it's always a good thing to keep bodyguards. If you have, let's see if I can do this. Give me a minute. Here we go. I don't know if I can write here. Yes. If you have an ace, it does not need any bodyguards when you're trying to discard. An ace is always a busy card, and if it has a little one with it, let's say it has a little one, it's okay to throw away that little one because the ace is like the most powerful card and it doesn't need a bodyguard. But if you have the king and two little ones, it is okay to throw away one of those cards. But if you throw away the second card, then they can play their ace and eat your king. So you always want to keep one bodyguard for your king to protect it from being eaten by the ace if you're having to discard. So if you had to discard a card in that suit, in that where that king is, you could throw one of them. We would call that card, this card, you would call it an idle card because we don't really care if we have it or not, all right? But this card, the 5, is a busy card, needed, because then when they play their ace, your king will be good later. And the queen needs 2 bodyguards to protect it from being eaten by the ace and the king. If you had the queen 5, 4, 2, you could throw one of them, but you mustn't throw 2 of them. If you throw 2 of them, then they can play their ace and play their king, eating your queen, and now their jack, for example, would now be high. So we try to keep, when we're discarding, try to keep bodyguards, okay? With a jack, you'd like to keep 3 bodyguards, if at all possible. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now we've played the queen and we've drawn their last trump. So now we're going to play our happy suit. We're going to play the strip suit because that's what we have to do. Clubs, clubs, club, club. I'm going to say it one more time. If you had one more club over in the dummy that was not high, because this guy still had the jack and this guy had not followed suit, you would now have to play it and trump it. Okay? Now, what's your do not touch suit? Do you remember? Your do not touch suit is the spade suit. Okay, and if you've lost your connection, go out and come back in. Okay, so now you're going to not touch the spade suit. So now diamond, diamond, 10 of diamonds, jack of diamonds. And now West is going to cash their high diamond, diamond, jack of clubs, diamond. And what would you like poor West to do? What would you like poor West to do? Remember, you had a clue who was going to win that diamond. It was going to be West, most likely, because they led the king of diamonds, promising the queen and the jack or the queen and the 10. And you, South, had the 10 of diamonds. So if West now plays the ace of spades, spade, spade, your king is good. And if West doesn't play that, supposing West plays something else. Supposing West led a small spade, for example, you would now win the king. But supposing West had another club or another diamond, we would rough it in the dummy and slough from declarer's hand because we're going to rough in the dummy. Now, someone had a very good question. That was Ruth Oppenheim, who's a wonderful artist, by the way. If you live in Toronto, go and see her work. She's wonderful. Okay, now what if East were to have won that trick with the diamond? Let's say East had the jack of diamonds and had won. Now that would just be unfortunate. And if East had won and they now led the jack of spades, you're just going to have, I'm saying this now to you, Joyce, so that you can hear. Okay, so if East had won with the jack of diamonds, they would now lead the jack of spades. And whatever you do, you'd have to hope that the ace of spades was here. And you'd play the king and it won't work. And they win the ace. But you have increased your chances. You've increased your chances. Pam, you're going to remember that you're going to roughen the dummy just because I said so. And then you're going to see later why it's important to just get into that habit. Okay, good, good. Okay, because we're just always going to roughen the dummy. All right, so now, supposing if she leads the small spade now, for example, instead, then you're going to win it with the king. Okay, so whatever happens, this hand is now said to be end played. It's a most uncomfortable feeling, and they're not happy about it, but so be it. Life goes on. Okay, now we're going to have another hand. And we are going to just a second. There we go. And now West is the dealer on this hand. And so we're going to go ahead and bid. So West is going to open the bidding. I'm sure you'll agree with one spade. The emphasis isn't on the bidding today. We're just getting extra practice. And Jacoby to know, who could have known? Okay, now what should West bid now? After one spade, two no trump. What should West bid now? Yes, three clubs is great. They're going to show their singleton or void right now. Oops, wrong hand did that. Okay, pass. And three clubs by West. Okay, good. Three clubs, pass. And now, East isn't quite sure what to do, but they're happy about the three club bid. You might not think they're happy, but they are. The jack really doesn't count, you see. If they had ace queen, that wouldn't be good. But ace jack, forget the jack, J for junk. They know now that they cannot lose two club tricks. They cannot lose two club tricks because partner has a singleton club. And so they're excited about this hand and about the possibilities. That's the beauty of Jacoby to no trump. Okay? It allows you to find slams with only 26 points when you have magic or singletons or voids in all the right places. East should now, they cannot bid for no trump, however, because they have three little cards. And you'll remember from last week's lesson that when we have three little cards, we may not use Blackwood, or two little cards. We can use Blackwood with a singleton, however, but we don't have that. So we are going to bid three spades now. By the way, next week's lesson is on slam bidding. Okay, next week's lesson's on slam bidding, and the following week in July the 1st, I know it's a national holiday for Canada, but we're still having our lesson. We are going to be doing defense against no trump contracts. Defense against no trump contracts. So one spade, two no trump, three clubs, showing a singleton or avoiding clubs. East bids three spades. That mandates, it requires West to now bid their cheapest first round control, or realize that East is turned on. More importantly, realize East is turned on by the fact that they had a singleton club, and if they have controls all over the place, then they can bid now for no trump. So let's have West bid for no trump. Pass. And what's East going to bid? Just to give you some practice, what's East going to bid? In response, playing 1430. You can't bid two hearts after for no trump. Five hearts. I knew that's what you meant. Okay, five hearts, showing two key cards, the king of spades and the ace of clubs. Okay, but no queen of spades. Five hearts, pass. And now West bids five no trump because they have all the key cards. Five no trump, pass. And East is going to bid six, just a second, six diamonds, showing one king. Old-fashioned Blackwood, excluding the king of trumps. pass, 6 spades. Pass, pass, pass. Okay, we don't have all the kings, so we're not going on anymore. All right, now you will notice, by the way, that in today's lesson, oh, no, you can bid Blackwood with a singleton. It is just not with a useless doubleton. Okay, but you can with a singleton, absolutely. It's just you don't want to be able to lose 2 tricks quickly. Now, so West is in 6 spades. West does not need to bid the control bid. We only need to do control bids when we cannot bid Blackwood. Okay? We may not use Jacoby 2-no trump when we have only 3 card support. When we use Jacoby 2-no trump, it says, I swear on every single religious instrument you may put in front of me, I swear by all that's holy, I have 4 cards. Even if you have the ace, the king, and the queen, 4 cards you must have. So West is now declarer in 6 spades. You'll notice today we're never going to get to 7, because if we got to 7, we can't throw the opponents in, can we? Because if we throw them in, then we're not going to make 7. So we're never going to be in 7. So North leads, safe lead, top of a broken sequence. And West counts losers. No spade losers, because the spade losers, the spades are wonderful. No heart losers, they are wonderful. No, Marge, I didn't teach you that you couldn't do it with one little one. I told you may not do it with a void, but you may use Blackwood with a singleton. It's not with a void, and not if you have 2 little. Okay, so please try to get that straight, everybody, because I know everybody's troubled by that. Okay, so no heart losers, no club losers, because we have the ace and the dummy, but we do have 2 diamond losers, which is troubling, very troubling. 2 diamond losers. Are you in a contract that depends on a finesse? Yes, and that's what triggers you to think, can I do the strip and throw in? So we're going to play the ace of clubs, club, and a club. And you know what? While you're over there, you're going to start your stripping. I know we haven't had to do that yet, but you see we've got a lopsided suit here. So you're going to play the 4 of clubs, 5 of clubs, and you're going to rough it as part of the stripping process, okay? And now we're going to draw trumps. We don't have to draw very many because we have a whole mess of them between us, okay? We draw trumps. And now queen of spades and a heart and a spade and a spade. And now we're done with spades. We're not going to play anymore. Now, we should have ascertained by now what is our do not touch suit. Tell me what our do not touch suit is. That's right. Yes, diamonds is our do not touch suit. Good job. So we are going to now play ace of hearts. This is our strip suit. A strip suit is sometimes a happy suit, often a happy suit. And now a heart, heart. Oops, where did I went? Okay, heart and a club and a heart and a heart. And now here comes the crunch time. Do you remember what North led right at the very beginning? Tell me in your chat bar if you're able to. Tell me what North led to start with. Do you remember what North led? Yes, she led a club. Do you remember what North led? Which club? Do you remember which club? She led the king of clubs. You got it. Now, do you remember, do you know then, if North led the king of clubs, what card did she say, I swear I also have? The queen of clubs, right? Excellent. So now you're going to play the jack of clubs, club. If you trumpet, you will be back on lead, and you will have to play your do not touch suit. And you do not want to be on lead, and you do not want to play your do not touch suit. So you're going to play, and you're in 6. You're going to throw this, and then North is going to win that trick. Some people call it a loser on a loser, or you can just call it a better term to describe the end play, because it happens near the end of the hand, is the strip and throw in. And that's what you're doing, stripping and throwing them in. The British call this play the elimination play. As a nurse, I always say that as a nurse, elimination means something else in my world. And so I don't use that terminology, okay? But it is in the elimination play. It means that you have thrown your opponents in and eliminated for them all their happy options. Look what happens if North now plays a diamond. Diamond, diamond, let's say Jack of diamonds, you win the queen. And look what happens if she doesn't lead a diamond. Look what happens if she wins that and she leads back, let's say she leads back a club. Where are we going to ruff? Now, Pam, this one's for you and for all of you other non-believers out there. If you ruff, if you discard from the dummy and ruff in your hand, can you see that you still have a diamond loser? So this is an example of why it's right to always ruff in the dummy. You'll never go wrong, okay? 99.9% of the time, ruff in the dummy and you slough from your hand, okay? And now you make your contract. I'm going to go back and we're going to redo that one more time so that you see it, because several of you don't quite see. Okay, so supposing she leads the 10 of clubs and you think, doesn't matter, I can ruff wherever I jolly well feel like. Now you're in your hand. And yes, you can get to dummy and you can finesse the diamond, but it is going to lose to the king. So that's why we must always, when we're given that opportunity for a slough and a ruff, we must always ruff in the dummy. And you will never go wrong. It'll never fail you. Okay? There you go. Making your contract. Do you see what an easy game it is? Does anyone have any questions? Any questions? No questions. Next hand. Next case. And just 1 second. Don't peek, please. Don't peek at anything, folks, please. Thank you. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to tell you that on this hand, North gets to 6 spades. You're not going to like the auction because actually, unless you were playing puppet Stayman, you would probably end up in no trumps. So let's have, give me a minute. This hand would actually open the bidding with two clubs and follow it with some number of no trumps. So if you could humor me, if you don't mind, I'm going to have North just be in 6 spades. Okay? Because the bidding is not what we care about on this hand. Let's see, 14, 23. They would open the bidding with 2 clubs. Partner would bid 2 diamonds, and now they would bid 2 no trump. And now South, I'm hoping, would be playing puppet Stayman. And if they were playing puppet Stayman, they would bid 3 clubs, find out that partner had a 5-card spade suit, and now they would get to 6 spades. Okay? So I don't want to go through all that. So North is playing it in 6 spades, but of course they're not going to open 6 spades. So just live with that, if you will. Now, let's count losers. In the trump suit, because we always have so many of them, we would consider this only 1 spade loser. No heart losers. We have no club losers. Just give me a second. We have no club losers because we have the ace of clubs. And we have no diamond losers. So this looks like a piece of cake, a walk in the park. Now, when a contract looks so easy, you have to stop and think, what could possibly go wrong? Okay? What could possibly go wrong? And so you have to stop and think, maybe the trump suit will behave badly. And sure enough, I'm going to reveal all. And it's not a happy situation. So East leads the Jack of Hearts. Small heart, ace of hearts. And North starts pulling trumps thinking life is good. Ace of spades, 2 of spades, 6 of spades. West, by the way, should follow with the same color in case Declare doesn't notice. But your partner, East, has already played the 2 of spades. So if you play the 2 of clubs, it's going to be a dead giveaway. 2 black clubs, 2 black cards, and 2 twos. So 5 of clubs, but you should be ready with that and do it quickly. Now North is despondent because they now know that their opponent has the queen, jack, and a little one. So I want you to now stop saying to yourself, my partner bid too much. I think I want to go down just to show her that she bid too much. I want you to concentrate on trying to make this contract regardless. And you have to first accept that if you now play the king of spades, East, queen, and jack will win tricks no matter what. So we have to abandon this suit, okay? Abandon that suit. Do not play any more cards in that suit. That becomes your do not touch suit for now, okay? Now we're going to play all the other suits and pray that East follows suit. If East doesn't follow suit, you're toast. But you weren't going to make it the other way, so you have to just hope. Heart, and she follows because she's a nice human being. Not that nice, though. And now we play diamonds. Diamond, diamond, ace of diamonds, diamond, queen of diamonds, diamond, diamond, diamond. And now a diamond, and pray she follows. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Okay, now we've been stripping. We've been busy stripping. Yeah, TW says when you don't know what to do, strip. That sounds like a healthy outlook. So now you're going to play the club suit, but you have a lopsided suit in the club suit. It's lopsided because you have 3 in the dummy and 2 in your hand. You have learned at mother's knee to always play the high honor from the short side first. So you're going to use up the high honor from the short side first. And now a club, club, ace of clubs, club. And now you're going to play another club, trumpet, and hope this hand follows. And sure enough. So now, stay with me. If you play the king of spades now, you know this creep is going to win the next 2 tricks with the queen jack. So you've got to throw him in, but not by playing the king. Okay? You've got to play a small spade. And look, he has to win it with the jack, small spade, and a heart. And what do you want this person to lead now? If he leads the 8 of spades now, okay? If he leads the 8 of spades now, you win it with the 9. And if he leads the queen of spades instead, if he plays the queen of spades, you'll win it with the king. And now your 10 is high. So no matter what happens, you had him end played. Okay? You had him end played. And so that was a trump end play, which is a little different, but it's kind of fun, isn't it? Okay? I hope that makes sense. Let's have another, because we've got lots more for you. Okay, so hand number 6, and there we go. So on this hand, it goes, I'm going to do the bidding for you, just in the interests of East is the dealer, and they're going to open with 1 no trump, just in the interest of playing more hands. Pass. And you know that West is going to bid 2 clubs, which is Stamen. Pass. And East is now going to bid 2 hearts. Pass. And now West. I want you to add your points. 5 high card points here in spades. Let's have a look. 5 here. 4 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And partner has promised you at least 15. Okay? Alexis, it didn't matter what East played. You'd win it with the 9 and the dummy. Okay? Now, on that last hand. Okay, so you have 19 and partner has 15. So 19 and 15 is 34. Can you be missing? Is it 19? Yep, 19 and 15 is 34 high card points. Okay, Tim or Cindy, could you help George Kelly, who cannot hear me, he can only see?
Yep,
okay.
got it.
Okay, George Kelly, thanks very much. Okay, so now you have 34 high card points. There are 40 high card points in the whole deck. When you are missing 6, you have to grasp that you cannot be missing 2 aces. You, West, can see that you're not missing 2 aces anyway. But even if you didn't have all three of those aces, you know that you cannot be missing 2 aces, because 2 aces adds up to 8, and you have 34 high card points between you, so you can only be missing 6 high card points. So there's no point asking about aces. Okay, and there's no point thinking you can make 7, because you need 37 high card points and you ain't got it. So just bid 6 hearts now that you've agreed on hearts. Pass, pass, pass. Oops, I did it wrong. Okay, let's back up. Sorry about that. I get too excited. There we go. 6 hearts. There we go. Pass, pass, pass. Okay, now, so East is declarer in 6 hearts. And I'm going to tell you that South leads the Jack of diamonds, and now you're going to make a plan. And you recognize that you have no heart losers, and you have no diamond losers, and you have no club losers, so life is good. But you do have 2 potential losers in spades. Now, interestingly enough, you may not have heard this expression, but interestingly enough, when you are missing 2 honors in a contract, in one suit, they usually are in divided hands. So if you had to play this suit yourself, you would play small, small, 10. And if this hand wins it with the queen, later you'd get back to this hand and play another spade, and play the jack, and hope that the other missing honor was in that south hand. So But this hand is reasonably balanced. Do you agree? 2 opposite 2, 3 opposite 3, 4 opposite 4, quite balanced. And therefore, it's a contract that depends on a finesse, and you automatically think, can I do the strip and throw in? And then you can make the hand not 50% of the time, but 100% of the time. Do you see what's lurking in that North hand? Because North is not a very nice person. You'll see who's sitting there. Okay, that's me. Okay, and by the way, it's my birthday today, so you have to be nice to me and not give me any grief. Okay, now, so Jack of Diamonds is the opening lead. Jack of Diamonds, let's say we play a small diamond, thank you, and a small diamond, and let's say you win it with the Ace of Diamonds. And now we're going to draw trumps. Small heart, thank you everybody, and Ace of Hearts, small heart. And we're counting and making sure everybody's following. Very nice, good. And now you're going to play another round of hearts, Jack of Hearts, heart, heart, and a diamond. And now we have to do our stripping. Queen of Diamonds, diamond, King of Diamonds, we're stripping. And we're not pulling any more trumps. You've got to leave a trump in the dummy. Okay? And now you're going to play clubs, the other suit that you're going to strip and strip completely. 7 of clubs, 10 of clubs, King of clubs, club. Queen of clubs, club, club, spade. Let's say. Okay? And now, actually, he could have discarded the 8 of spades, saying, I love spades. Now you're going to play, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't play the final club. I was so busy showing you the signal. Okay, so now we're going to play 8 of clubs. I want to do that over. I could have played that better. So I'm going to undo. Okay, and now I'm going to play a small club. It's better technique, and he's going to discard the 8 of spades, okay? Better technique to end up in the hand opposite the finesse situation. You see, he's not going to throw away these because he needs to keep one little spade as bodyguard for those spades, okay? And a spade. And now we're in the hand opposite the finesse situation, which is better. 2 of spades, 7 of spades, 10 of spades. And now this hand wins with the queen. And what would you like that hand to do now? Do you see that if the North player now leads a spade, it's right into the jaws? Remember the alligator? If he leads a spade, it's right into the ace jack, and declarer will win with either the jack or the ace, depending on which card he plays. So let's have him lead a diamond. On this hand, once again, it would not matter where you sloughed and where you roughed, but I know now you're in the habit of roughing in the dummy. And so you're going to discard from that hand, from the declarer's hand, and you're going to rough in the dummy. And if North had led a spade, we were going to win it with either the ace or the jack. Okay? Now, does anyone have any questions about that one? Any questions? Yes, it would have been better, TW, to end up in the east. That's why we backed up. Quite right. Yes, I was being sloppy. Okay, wouldn't it be nice if we could always take back all our misdemeanors? Now, just give me a moment.
Barbara, just while you're loading the next hand, about 30 minutes left. So if you want to do the poll, just let me know.
Okay, thank you. I want to be able to move this. Okay. Oops, I think I lost you. Here we go. There, that's what I needed to get back again. Good. Okay, thank you, Tim. I just get this back organized again. I lost something.
Barbara, somebody wanted you to repeat the rule about 2 missing honors in the suit.
Okay, when you're missing 2 honors in a suit, they usually will be in divided hands. In other words, if one person has one of them, the other person will have the other. Okay, I'm sorry. This is just being a little bit annoying. There we go. Okay, we're doing hand number 7 now, and south is the dealer. Okay, good. Okay, sorry. Just had a glitch. Sorry, folks. Okay, south is the dealer. And on this hand, south is going to open the bidding, which, so I hope you understood about that, the 2 missing honors. When you're missing 2 honors, we usually play for them to be in divided hands. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing that chat box as well as I should be. That will have to do. Okay, so south is the dealer and is going to open the bidding with 1 diamond, and the next hand is going to pass, and north is going to bid 2 clubs. I hope you agree with that. Pass. And what would south bid? Tell me what you think south is going to bid. Tell me what you think south should bid. See, south can't bid 2 no trump because they don't have a stopper in hearts. A diamond, 2 clubs, 2 no trump says I can stop the unbid suits. So 3 clubs is correct. Yes, it's a misnomer. People think they don't have to have stoppers. You do in the unbid suits. 1 diamond, 2 clubs, 3 clubs. Now, I want to tell you that north is very aroused by this. This is wonderful stuff. Partner has supported their suit and they opened the bidding. If you remember from my hand evaluation, when we talked about hand evaluation, we'll do a little more with that next week. You see, north has 4 high card points in the heart suit, 4 in the club suit, that's 8, and 1 for the 5th is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And when partner supports their suit, if you don't do this, forget bridge, take up euchre, because you're never going to get to your games and you're never going to get to your slams. So you've got 14 points, including distribution. Always count your distribution, no matter what anybody tells you, always count your distribution. 14, and partner supported your suit. So when partner supports your suit, you get 1 more on top of that 5th card to start with. one more there, and two more for the sixth, and two more for each remaining. So on top of the 14, you now have 19, and partner opened the bidding, promising you 13, including distribution. That's enough to get excited about slam. And so North has no reason to not use Blackwood. It is fine to use Blackwood with a singleton. It is not all right to use Blackwood with a void or with too little or worse. Okay, so pass. So for no trump by North. Pass. And South is now going to bid 5 spades. Okay, showing 2 key cards, the ace of diamonds, the ace of spades, and the queen of trumps. So 5 spades. Pass. And now North knows that they are missing 1 key card. I think, are they missing 1 key card? No, they're not. But he also doesn't think that there's a hope of 7 on the hand.
They're missing
Okay.
the king of clubs, so they are missing a key card.
Yes, but they don't know about that yet. Okay, because after 4 no trump, 5 spades, it's a question of whether to ask about kings. And you're not going to ask about kings because there's no way that there's 37 points. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
okay, so Gilly T, why did North not bid 2 diamonds? I'm confused. South opened the bidding with 1 diamond. And we wouldn't bid 2 diamonds when we have a long club suit like that. Okay, that would promise 2 diamonds would promise that we have 5. The king of clubs is a king of clubs. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Yes, I got it now. The king of clubs is a key card. Of course it is. We're in clubs. Thank you. Yes, we're missing a key card. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I lost it for a moment. Thank you. And now, so that's why we're going to bid 6 clubs. We're so seldom in minor suits. Okay, yes, I had a senior moment, Susan. Well, I'm getting older, you see. Yeah, big numbers now. We're talking big numbers. All right. So the opponents, we're in 6 clubs, and now East is going to lead, and East is going to lead the 10 of hearts. So let's count losers. So I'm going to move this over a little bit so we can see those. There we go. Now, so losers, we have 1 heart loser. We have no spade losers. And we have 1 potential diamond loser, don't we? So we have 1 club loser, 1 heart loser, and 1 diamond loser. That's 2 losers more than we can afford to have. But over in the dummy, we have what we call an extra winner in the dummy. Extra winner in the dummy. Sandy, yes, you did have enough points to make a 2/1 bid if you were playing 2/1, because we always count distribution. So we are going to draw trumps is the first thing we're going to do. You can play the queen if you want to, and the king, and we're going to win the ace. And now you're going to play the ace of clubs and hope that that king comes falling down. But of course it doesn't. Darn shame. So we play the ace of clubs, and he plays a spade very quickly, black on black. Doesn't always work, but okay, now he's paying attention, and he noticed that the king didn't fall, and so there's only 1 outstanding trump. Well, when there's only 1 outstanding trump, you never, and it's a boss trump, you never play it. But before they win the trick, you'd better be sure to get rid of this heart, because otherwise they're going to win a heart. So king of spades and a spade. And now we're going to play a spade and a spade, and we're going to throw away our losing heart. And now we're going to play the 7 of hearts. Just a minute. Did I do that wrong? Just a second. No, that's right. Okay, good. And now we're going to play a heart. No, we're not going to play a heart now. I'm sorry, I got distracted by myself. There we go. I got mixed up for a moment, forgive me. Yes, we do have to play a heart. I'm sorry, I was on the right path. Okay, so heart, heart, and now we're playing the club. I apologize, folks. Sometimes I lose it. Okay, and now, and when I lose it when I'm playing bridge with my husband, that's never healthy because he's a better bridge player than I am. He doesn't like that. Okay, so now we're going to now draw that last trump. 3 of clubs, 4 of hearts, club, because remember, it's just the king that's outstanding. And now, this guy is now end played. Because if he now leads a diamond, it's right into the jaws of the ace-jack. And if he leads a heart, where do we rough? Where do we rough? In the dummy. So if he leads the jack of hearts, let's have him lead the jack of hearts. This is another hand that it is essential that you must slough from your hand and rough in the dummy. Slough from your hand and rough in the dummy. Because if you did it the other way around, you will not make the contract. Okay? And now you can say, the rest are mine. So let's go back and do that one again. Just that last trick. And let's have Wes lead something else. Okay, so supposing West, when they won the king of clubs, supposing now they let a diamond, you can see what happens. It's right into the jaws. For that matter, the 7 wins. Okay, but it would win or the win with the jack. And now we have the ace and the king. Okay, so now what I'd like you to do, I'd like you, while I set up the next hand, I'd like it very, very much, Tim, if you could upload the poll. Now, I just want to explain to you that we do have on the poll, it tells you what the lessons are. But I was thinking that in July, we have the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th of July. And on the 15th, I was going to just do an introduction to 2/1 so that you know a bit about what it's about and you could practice. And then my cohort, my teaching colleague and friend, Jose Jamil, is going to be doing a full course on 2/1 in September for either, I think, 2 sessions. And then you could have the full thing then. But if you wanted to do an introduction, so I'm interested to know from you whether you are interested in attending some of the sessions in July and also whether you are interested in the 2/1. Okay, so do the poll with me, please. Thank you. Go ahead.
So I've launched the poll. Some people on iPads or mobile devices sometimes have trouble accessing the poll. So don't feel bad if you can't answer the questions.
Okay, you can go on to number 2 now, I think, Tim.
They're all in one.
Oh, are they?
Yep.
Okay, so I need to scroll down to be able to see them then. Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, that gives me some idea. Okay.
Barbara, that may be the same hand you just played. That's on the screen now.
You know, I thought it was very peculiar. Thanks, Cindy. Appreciate that. Okay, good. Okay, I don't think we're going to bother covering north and south. Okay, well, we will. This is a wonderful hand. They're all wonderful. They're interesting. Okay, now on hand number 8, West is going to open, I'm sure you'll agree, with 2 clubs. I hope you agree. Sorry, I lost your chat bar, so I need to get that back. Okay, so 2 clubs by West, pass, 2 diamonds by East, pass. And what should West bid now? Tell me in the chat bar. It doesn't matter if you didn't do the poll. It doesn't matter. Yes, 2 spades. Don't jump and bid 3 spades. It takes up too much space. If your partner doesn't bid again after you bid 2 spades, if your partner doesn't bid again, don't play with her again. Okay, so 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, pass. And what should East bid now? Careful now. Careful. You have a really good hand. You have an ace, which is golden. Okay, so bid slowly when you have an ace. If it goes 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, 4 spades, you could have like no points whatsoever. So you want to bid just 3 spades, okay? So 3 spades next. That's good, okay? 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, 3 spades. And now, West. Now, West cannot now bid for no trump, okay? West cannot bid for no trump because they have 2 little hearts, okay? That's what you're remembering when you think of it. I can't do it with a singleton. That's not true. So now West has to bid his cheapest first round control, which is, what is it? 4 clubs. That's right, because of the hearts. That's right. So 4 clubs. And now East is going to bid. After 4 clubs, East is going to show her first round control. She's going to bid 4 hearts. And now West is now no longer worried about being able, oops, sorry. It's tricky, tricky, tricky. Okay, 4 clubs pass. East now bids 4 hearts. And now West is not nervous about the heart suit because she knows that partner's got first round control because that's our agreement that we're playing first round controls. So now they're not nervous and now they can go back to what we like best of all. We're going to bid Blackwood. Key card Blackwood for no trump, pass, and East is going to bid. What's East going to bid? Playing key card Blackwood. With spades as the agreed on suit. 5 clubs, that's correct. Okay, now someone's saying that West only has 19 points. You must count your distribution. Oops, something went wrong. There we go. The gremlins are out today. Must be because it's my birthday. Okay. I won't be able to ask you any questions for a while. Okay, so 4 no trump pass, and East is going to bid 5 clubs. Always count your distribution. West does not have just 19, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And in order to open the bidding with 2 clubs and then bid your long suit, then you want to have 21 or more points and a 7 card or longer suit. Pass, and now West is going to bid 6 spades. Pass, pass, pass. So West is in 6 spades, and you're going to count losers with me. We have, let's try to get that chat bar back, just a sec. Tim, I don't know if you can help me. The chat bar becomes very, very large. Oh, I got it now. Aha. They do play tricks. Here we go. Okay, now we have one spade loser. In fact, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For goodness sake, you have 12 trumps. You're only missing one, and it's the ace of trump. So one spade loser, and you have one potential heart loser. Does this hand remind you of being in a finesse situation? Say yes, right? Because it's hearts would be finessed if you were left to your own devices. You have one club loser, but you know you don't have to worry about it because you can rough it in the dummy, and you have no diamond losers. Okay, so what's our do not touch suit? I know you know by now. What's our do not touch suit? Hearts is our do not touch suit. Good, good. And since that's our do not touch suit, what suit are we going to throw them in with? What's the only suit we can throw them in with? Trump, that is correct. Spades. And therefore, since there's only one spade outstanding, you are not going to lead trumps, because otherwise, when you throw them in, they'll lead back a diamond or a club. And then you'll have to lead the hearts yourself, and that'll be disappointing. So 6 spades, West is in, and North leads the king of diamonds, top of a sequence. Best lead in bridge, never gives a single thing away. And don't touch the heart suit. We've agreed. You will not touch the heart suit. Okay? So you're going to play all the other suits. Or not exactly. You're just going to play clubs. This is your strip suit. And here's an example of an extra club in your hand that you have to rough, because you have to strip and strip completely. If you didn't, and you led a spade now, declarer would win the ace of spades, but she would lead back a club. She would not have to lead a heart into the jaws of the ace jack. So you have to finish stripping. 6 of clubs, small club, small spade, 10 of clubs. Okay, and now you have to play your jack of diamonds. Diamond, because you have to finish stripping. Diamond, spade, diamond. And now you can play a teeny weeny spade. And club, and a spade, and this hand wins with the ace of spades. And now what would you like poor South to do? Okay, what would you like poor South to do? Do you see that South has a problem? If they lead a heart, they're leading right into the jaws of the ace jack. It's very, very nasty and cruel what you've done to her. You've been very obnoxious, and they're not happy with you. And South is said to be end played. Now, another example of why we rough in the dummy RID. Let's say she plays the 9 of diamonds instead of leading a heart. Do you see that if you rough in your hand and slough a heart from the dummy, let's do that. Let's say you rough from your hand and play a heart from the dummy. Can you see that you're still stuck with the heart situation? Therefore, we're not going to do it that way. You're going to play, when she gives you the slough and the rough, you are going to slough from declarer's hand, and you are going to rough in the dummy. Okay, because that's how we gain tricks, by roughing in the dummy. And now we have the ace of hearts, and life is good. Do you see what an easy game it is? Okay, now if North, that's a very good question. If North won, they are all good questions, but that's an exceptional one. If North were to win with the ace of spades, of course we didn't know that South had the ace of spades. If North won with the ace of spades and led a heart now, you would just have to fall back on the heart finesse and pray that North had the king of hearts. But you've increased your chances tremendously, okay, of making the hand, okay? But so that was your only hope, and you were delighted that South actually ended up having that card, which was great. Okay, let's see. We're going to do we're going to do hand number 11 because we only have time for one more because I've promised you to never go over because people have made plans. Okay, now South is going to open the bidding on this hand with 2 clubs, and partner's going to bid 2 diamonds, and South is going to bid 2 no trump, and North is going to bid 3 no trump. Excellent. And now we're going to count winners, and we have 1 spade winner, 1 heart winner, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the diamonds and in the clubs, and a jack of clubs and the jack of diamonds. Oh, happy day. Looks like a piece of cake. The creeps led the king of spades. And that is going to cause you grief, because now your ace of spades, which is your only entry to that jack of clubs and jack of diamonds, is going to be taken away from the dummy. Darn shame. Very, very, very upsetting. So you're going to duck it, and you're going to hope that they change their mind and they stop playing the suit. But of course, they aren't going to change their mind, and they aren't going to stop playing the suit. East is not going to throw away a club. They try to do what we call keeping parity with the dummy, or equal length. So they throw away a heart and a spade, and West continues with another spade and a heart and a spade. Now, we could try to get our 9th trick, because those are stranded now, we can't get to them. We could try to get our 9th trick by playing a heart, heart, queen. Do you see that this hand is another example of a situation where the hand depends on a finesse? So I want you to consider that this is your do not touch suit, and you're going to play all the other suits and pray for something good to happen. And then you're going to throw West in with his spades. You'll see what happens. And now you're going to play diamonds. Diamond, 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 diamond. And the king of diamonds, diamond, diamond, diamond. And the queen of diamonds, diamond, diamond. And a heart. And now you're going to play the 7 of spades. You now have managed, okay, now you're going to play 7 of spades, 10 of spades, and you're going to throw away your useless heart from the dummy because it's doing you no good, and a heart from the east hand. And West can cash 1 more trick. You're keeping those, jack of clubs and jack of diamonds, and a heart and a heart. And now, do you see, West is stuck, and they have to lead a heart right into your ace queen. And if they didn't have, they had a club left, they could lead a club and you'd win the jack in the dummy, and now you'd win your jack of diamonds. Or if they had a diamond, they'd lead a diamond and you'd win with the jack of diamonds in the dummy, and you win the jack of clubs in the dummy. Do you see? You have end played West, and they will never, ever want to play against you ever again. In fact, they'll be sorry they came out to play today. So I hope you've understood. I hope that all makes sense. It's all in your notes. Please go to barbaraseagram.com and you'll see the notes should be up there. If they're not up there right now, they will be soon. The recording for this will be up later tonight or tomorrow morning. It just depends when the recording comes in and when it gets finished. But thank you one and all for being here with me today. Today's my special day, and I'm going out to dinner at my daughter's house outdoors where we can all social distance. But it'll be fun, and it'll be nice to see everyone. And it's lovely to be here today with all of you. Thank you so much, all of you. You're the best. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Cindy, for always being there for us. It's just wonderful. And thank you, folks. You're just the best. Thank you. If you have any questions, please email me about anything.